Well, here we are. Hawkins Mansion. The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
Your partner, Andrews, warned me against him.
You managed to get something out of that bum? I'll end up asking you for advice.
He talks too much. He inferred that old Silas was slightly unhinged.
That's not far off the mark, I suppose. But kinda unfair at the same time. You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like a son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family, so he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way, he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though, he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age. A true force of nature.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee, if you don't want to listen to my advice, we might as well go. Right?
I see no scorched trees or fire damage on the building.
You're pretty damn observant, ain't you? The fire was quickly contained. Old Silas acted as soon as he could.
Not soon enough to save the Hawkins.
They were trapped in the drawing room. And don't go troubling Silas anymore. His guilt torments him enough as it is. Are we gonna take a closer look at this mansion, or do you have other questions?
You won't get me to believe that it looked any better 3 months ago.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the arrival of the first settlers.
It's got nothing to do with Charles Hawkins' debts.
Ha! You've already begun to nose around it, would seem. So, since you already know it, the Hawkins family couldn't afford the upkeep of this house. It remains to be seen what they did with all their money. I wager it was Charles Hawkins' travels. Let's go up there. Unless you still have questions.
Night falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
Why not? You can help.
Right. Let's go.
Bradley was right. This place is much older than I imagined, but the architecture seems too recent. Poor kid. Someone must really hate Charles Hawkins.
I told you. Silas Winchester is still watching over the Hawkins family.
I must say, it's pretty gloomy.
So, Detective, does this place inspire any thoughts?
Do you know if Charles Hawkins had any enemies?
Not to our knowledge. He was a well-respected personality on the island. I don't understand. Silas would never have let such a thing happen.
Why were they buried here?
I was given to believe that it was Charles Hawkins' wish.
Strange idea. I imagine Webster wasn't too pleased.
Mrs. Hawkins' father? It's said that he's devastated.
Let's go to the mansion.
Please give me a minute. I didn't expect to set foot back here after the burial. What kind of deranged individual would defile this sanctuary? And steal a burnt painting? I don't see Silas doing such a thing. Let alone allowing it. Even that broad baker is above that. Lord, have pity on this poor family.
The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are fresh. The old caretaker must be very attached to her. I'll have to find another entrance. This entrance is still in use.
Whoa!
Whoa!
You were trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir, all right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you? We gut them. Dump them into the ocean.
Whoa! You're Mr. Winchester. Lower that axe. Let's talk calmly.
I'll show you how we have it out on Darkwater.
Sarah Hawkins' father sent me here to investigate the death of his daughter.
Webster, huh? I understand how he feels. But me? I want the dead to rest in peace. And that means kicking the ass of gumshoes like you.
Why would you not want me to help understand what happened here?
I've got nothing to hide. Tell me what you're doing here. And no baloney.
The police report describes a domestic accident. But Stephen Webster has several reasons to believe that this may not be the case.
Webster is as stubborn as an old mule. And I did tell him that we should let the dead rest in peace.
He wants to restore the reputation of his daughter. I just need to see where the fire started.
The mansion isn't safe. You would break your neck as sure as you're trying my patience right now.
That's why you barricaded the entrance.
That's right.
And this door?
It's locked, and I make sure it stays that way.
You still put flowers on her grave. You cherish her memory.
Mrs. Hawkins was an exceptional person. She cared for everyone around her.
Let me shed a light on what happened to her. Give me that key.
I'm probably making a big mistake, but it won't be the first. Here, take the key and do what you have to do. Go on, then. Just to get rid of you.
Let's see what more I can learn from this mansion. poor wretch seems to spend the best part of his time isolated from the world. Rather Spartan. The caretaker has simple tastes. Bourbon. Empty, of course.
Pierce, shall we enter? Now that you've finished your fun and games with Silas, we can perhaps inspect the mansion.
You're right. Let's go. Let's take a look inside.
I'm with you. Follow me. I know the place. Who left this light on?
The Last Supper of the Hawkins. What does this tell me? What kind of meat is this? This place is for the head of the family, Charles Hawkins. The boy was probably here, smashed his plate on the floor. Sarah Hawkins didn't eat. Was it because of the meat or something else? Something happened at this table. An argument?
Hey, Pierce. Daydreaming again?
Working, officer. This dinner table tells us a lot about the Hawkins family life.
Well, we don't have all day. The scene of the fire is next door.
Sarah Hawkins painted herself with her son, Simon, ready to go somewhere, but without Charles. Was Charles Hawkins some kind of explorer? Let's see if I can find something the cops missed. Was Charles Hawkins a heavy drinker? If the painting I found on the docks really came from here, how come it didn't burn? They had a fight. Why? The child's corpse left a trace. Where are the others? Did it stop at the time of the fire? Did Sarah Hawkins lose one of her shoes? How? Did someone escape the fire? Blood. This lamp was thrown. This was no accident. This was a fight. Someone fell here. A desperate attempt to flee. And the boy.
So, Detective, what do you make of it?
I firmly believe this fire was more than just an accident.
Huh. What's your theory?
I think the Hawkins couple got into a fight.
You sure of that?
There's only one way to be sure.
I just ask that you don't disturb anything. If Chief West found out about what we're doing, I'd be in serious trouble.
This door is locked. These bandages are covered in dried blood. The same bandages that I saw in the warehouse on the docks. And given the bloodstains, I'd also say that it's the same person. A crowbar could prove useful. This door is blocked from the outside. The lyrics of the drunken sailor, a sea shanty. An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, dated 1818. Moby Dick, Melville's classic. The epic battle between man and whale. Mandatory reading for any whaler, I guess. This piano is in disrepair. Looks like the Hawkins kept it more for decoration than for music. This place was falling apart long before the fire. A book on the first inhabitants of the island. It seems they got here around the 14th century. Darkwater history. This place was settled back in 1692 by two families that seceded from the New England colonies. A book on hunting whales, the island's staple diet last century. One of Sarah Hawkins' paintings. Her style sure is recognizable. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Another story about the mysteries of the deep. What could Sarah have done to make this person threaten to call the police? Locked. The boys' room. The argument that led to their tragic end seems to have been simmering for some time. A child's fort. From what threat was Simon protecting his world? Tom Sawyer, Mark Twain. Sarah must have read it to him before bed. Sleeping pills. Strong for an 11-year-old boy. What was wrong with this family? What nightmarish vision could have inspired them? Simon's troubles went beyond family problems. That kid saw something. Something terrified him. What was going through that boy's mind? What will her room reveal about her? Barbiturates. Sarah Hawkins must have been extremely agitated resorting to such a treatment. barbiturate prescription from a certain Dr. Fuller. That's a massive dose. Was Sarah violent? Perfect. Sarah Hawkins' agent was getting worried. Seems she wasn't giving any signs of life. This ledger lists all of the paintings Sarah Hawkins sold. It seems the last one was given for free to a Francis Sanders. I wonder why. Despite what happened, they seem to have loved each other. This door is locked. What do you know about Charles Hawkins' activities?
Well, not much, to be honest. We all assumed the Hawkins lived on Charles's inheritance. If you're right, we should be able to find clues among the Hawkins' personal effects. Did you hear that?
An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, dated 1818. This door is locked. This place was falling apart long before the fire. A book on the first inhabitants of the island. It seems they got here around the 14th century. One of Sarah Hawkins' paintings. Her style sure is recognizable. Darkwater history. This place was settled back in 1692 by two families that seceded from the New England colonies. Was Sarah Hawkins interested in the occult? What was she trying to achieve?
Bradley? Is that you?
Is anyone there?
You! Stop! Bradley, did you see which way he went?
Who? I didn't see anyone. I just heard some noise. Are you all right?
A man was hiding on the upper level. He ran when he saw me. He can't be far.
I'll cover you.
This door was closed earlier.
Where did he go?
As if the bookcase has been moved several times. Clearly, Charles Hawkins knew Captain Fitzroy very well. I wonder who the man with the glasses is in the photograph. It looks like a freehand map of Darkwater. Certain areas have been highlighted. I wonder why.
Do you really
Scylla.
think that your fugitive came in
It's
here?
the boat that was
I
stranded
don't
at
see
the
any
entrance
way
to the
out.
harbor. This globe seems to have been part of some mechanism. Doesn't work. Seems like this came from a log. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Have you seen the old maritime maps on Charles Hawkins' desk?
Strange. No ship has left Darkwater shore for years. Maybe he kept them for sentimental reasons.
Charles Hawkins was keeping her father's letters from her. It looks like an old seaway map. Looks like the navigational paths described in the log. Looks like it worked.
Well done, Pierce. Secret passage, under the manor. It's like a detective novel. That guy must have already gotten far.
Yeah, and he had a direct means of entry to the crime scene. We must find him.
What is this place? It's more than just a tunnel. Look,
3 seats.
someone's been here recently.
Did Charles Hawkins use this place? Who were the others? What is this mask supposed to represent? Whatever Charles Hawkins hid here, he didn't want it in his house. This piece of cloth is unmistakably from a dress. Sarah Hawkins. Was she hiding from someone? Whoever was sitting here could have seen Sarah Hawkins. Could this be related to her death? This symbol, what does it mean? Of course.
And something tells me that the key is climbing these steps. There's tunnels all over this island. Given the size of this cave, there's gotta be other entrances.
The passage continues further down. Might as well start with that.
I ain't gonna squeeze in there. I'll find another way. If possible, I prefer not to ruin my uniform.
Fine, fine. Go look for another entrance. I'll try my luck down below. Some kind of dream catcher. If I touch it, it'll turn to dust. An old diary. A sad way to go. These paintings must be several centuries old. This monstrous creature must be an allegory. These people lying down, are they dead? Are they asleep? These buildings seem to have come out of the water. Time has weakened these structures. It looks like animal oil, but certainly not whale. I don't have time to search them all. What's going on here?
Piers!
Keep your voice down. We're not alone.
Good God. What have you got me into?
We'll see. I'll go on. Try to go down on your side.
Yeah, there's a passage. I'll meet you at the bottom.
A mass grave. A table for sacrifice? I gotta... I can't breathe. What's happening? Is it my turn?
Yes, it is time. You will soon be one of us, if your body and mind are ready.
I dream of it every night. I have constant visions. I am ready.
Good enough. Prove it to us.
It's like in my dream. A pre-Columbian tribal dagger. Probably destined for scarification rituals. I can't read Latin.
You who sleeps, accept this dream under your immortal wing.
Ya Cthulhu Nithsiha Fitagan.
Grant him your flesh and accept his, so that his body and yours may be one.
Yibithink Hupadk Cthulhu Bithinkor.
Grant him your mind and accept his, so that his mind and yours may be one.
Yeloig
Locked.
Cthulhu Loigna.
Grant him your dreams and accept his, so that the paths of your souls finally intertwine.
Yorel Cthulhu Kashag.
Let his soul guide you to us, just as your dreams guided it to you.
Yorel Cthulhu Bogshug. I feel him.
You are gifted indeed. Not another word. Let him pass through every part of you. Bring me all more sacred flesh. We pray for your return into the kingdom of the earth.
Kstelbsna Cthulhu Kashog.
We are ready for the ceremony. What about your protege?
His awakening is complete. He will join you shortly.
Dead? This ritual killed him. Where's the sense in that? Again, this primitive writing.
Cthulhu, Natulu, Lenalaf, Kleel Nochschlag, Rele, Gorkanira, Sigof, Eniapetach, Nikif, Kristelbaz, Natulu, Lenalaf, Kleel Nochschlag, Rele, Gorkanira, Sigof, Eniapetach, Nikif, Kristelbaz, Natulu.
Bradley, what are you doing here?
I saw two odd-looking guys coming down. Seemed up to no good. What in the world is this?
An intruder!
Oh, shit! Don't move! Police! Don't move! I won't hesitate!
Bradley, get
to
back!
shoot.
Get back!
You asked for it! Charles, you shouldn't have seen this.
Caving in. I need to get out of here. My leg! Light! At last.